Subnautica in disguise. That's what people are calling Forever Skies. And yeah, a lot of marketing around this game was actually focusing on that aspect of it. But the question is this true? Is this game really like a Subnautica? And is it actually worth it your time and money? So in this video, we're going to be talking exactly about that. And as always, at least I'm trying to do it as always, I'm not going to be wasting your time and giving you the answer right away to give you more time to play this game or do anything else that you want. And the answer is this. Well, it's kind of complicated. This game is still in early access, so you don't mind this early access shenanigans, then yep, it's worth it. But no, it's not yet on the level of Subnautica, and let me get more into details to tell you what I mean by that. And this video is sponsored by this channel's brand new sponsor, Instant Gaming. If you want to get best games for the cheapest prices, no matter it's on a PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo consoles, and you don't want to wait for any sales, Instant Gaming is the way to go. And I also partnered with Instant Gaming for epic giveaway of any game of your choice in the description down below. So click the link in the description to take part in there. And also, every purchase that you make on Instant Gaming through my link will help the channel as well. So click the link in the description to get the best games for the best prices. Now back to the video. So first, let me explain what Forever Skies actually is. Forever Skies is your regular survival game. It's very, very similar to Subnautica, and when people are comparing these two games, well, they are actually doing it justice because they are actually very similar. The situation is happening in a future on Earth, and Earth is basically gone. Some calamity has happened, and the Earth is covered with this kind of like a hazy, misty, organic thing that basically killed everyone on the surface. The only place where regular air kind of like exists is high up in the skies, and usually this means that near the top of the skyscrapers and things like that. And you arrive on Earth and you're trying to uncover whatever the hell is happening around you. Yes, this game actually has a story too, even though at the moment of the recording of this video it's not yet fully complete. But don't worry, I'm not gonna be spoiling anything except for the basic premise of the game. And the gameplay wise, again, it's very similar to Subnautica. You start on top of one of such buildings, and your goal is to collect resources and collect blueprints in order to start operating your own airship. And that's where differences actually start. Because in this game, you don't build a static base, you build a mobile one. And the mobile base is your airship. That's basically an air balloon with a bunch of rooms strapped on the bottom of it. Well, in the beginning, you only have a single room. And your gameplay loop is moving from this island to an island and just collecting resources, unlocking new tech, progressing the story, and things like that. And to be fair, basic gameplay loop is not that bad. There are different types of those islands, and all of them can give you different resources, different blueprints, and different stories as well. And as you unlock this new tech, you gain ability to expand your rooms, expand your airship, transforming your means of basic transportation into an actual fully fledged base. And yeah, not gonna lie, it's very fun, but it's also not easy as well. You see, in the beginning, when you don't have a lot of tech, when you don't have an ability to move very high up in the sky, where the visibility is actually better, and when you don't have a high speed movement, you will be suffering quite a lot because there is not a lot of food, there's not a lot of water. Well, there is quite a lot of water, but the water is almost completely contaminated, and there are not a lot of resources around you. So in the beginning, you will be grinding quite a lot. And if you think that I'm gonna say that you will not be grinding later, well, that's kind of wrong, because you will still be grinding quite a lot later as well. But yeah, you will be grinding for the higher level resources rather than the lower ones. And to be fair, this grind kind of like bored me in the beginning compared to Subnautica, because you have to do a lot of moving around and not the fun one. Like for example, in the beginning, you will need actually solid state batteries in order to power your research, but the only way to get those batteries are through the radio towers, and these are basically islands with the blinking lights on them, and you need to get there, taking away the power source of these blinking lights, basically putting it into a dark, and then using this power source for your own. And because you're researching a lot of stuff, these power sources are, well, running out pretty quickly, and then you need to move to a different island to get it there, and etc. And that's kind of infuriating. But what I liked about the airships is its modularity and integrating the UI elements into the ship as well. Like for example, this game actually has a minimap for your airship, but this minimap is not part of the HUD, it's part of an environment. So basically you need to put it on the wall or whatever part that you're putting it in, and you actually need to look at it in order to understand where you're moving. So if you put it in a part of the ship which you cannot see while flying the ship, or you actually need to rotate around or just abandon the controlling of the ship entirely to see where you're going. Or alternatively, you can set up the ship in the way so you would be able to actually see where you're going at all times, like I did, for example. And all of those things are not bad. Trust me, it's quite fun and looks and feels quite interesting. But this game goes for a Subnautica vibe, and you need to compare this game to Subnautica. And one thing and one place where it suffers a lot, and where actually it was not able to replicate Subnautica, is in its environment. When you start playing Subnautica, every environment is very distinct. And as you move further and further, you are seeing that you are actually moving further. The environment change quite a lot, and you need to use all of those different environments for your own good. In this game, every place looks exactly the same. Well, almost at least. Every place is usually an old ruins covered with some type of green stuff or some kind of vegetation. That's basically it. In the beginning of the game, everywhere you look around, no matter how high you're flying, every place looks the same. And you'll basically never be able to find a place where you start because it looks exactly like every other place. Unlike Subnautica, where shallows cannot be mistaken for anything else, or kelp forests cannot be mistaken for anything else, or where underwater caves cannot be mistaken for anything else, here, where all you do is just, well, see those different buildings and then eventually go a little bit down into the haze. That's it. And this environment did not make me feel good, unlike Subnautica did, where the sense of wonder and exploration was a huge part of that game. But if only that was a problem, well, yeah, I could actually still recommend this. But another thing is this game's performance. This game is actually not very optimized. Because there are a lot of particles flying around, because there are a lot of things happening all around you at all times, game does not run very well, even on a powerful PC. So I even had a lot of performance issues. No crashing or no things like that, but occasional slowdowns and low frame rate was constant in the game. And starting from this video, I want to also talk about the handheld performance. This is the Lenovo Legion Go, at the moment one of the most powerful handheld PCs. And yes, I was actually able to run this on this console. I'm not gonna lie, I was able to run it at okay-ish performance, at 800p, at full 30-watt TDP, but the best that I got was around 20 to 25 FPS. I was able to push it to comfortable 40 to 50 FPS with the lossless scaling, but even then UI was quite small, the text was not very legible, and the gameplay was not comfortable at all. And yes, I'm talking about the lowest graphical settings that's possible in that game. So even though it's playable on a handheld, I would not recommend it. But anything can be forgiven if the price is right. So how much this game will actually cost you? So the game is available on the Steam for $29.99, and the lowest it has ever gone price-wise was $22.49. So not the deepest discount. And you can get this game on an instant gaming for just a little bit more than that. But would I recommend this game? Well, at the early access stage, I would say unless you are an enthusiast that wants to support games like that, then I would say no. If you want to play this game on handheld, then absolutely no, because you won't be able to do it comfortably and the picture quality will be quite awful. But if you do want support devs in this endeavor, and don't get me wrong, the idea of this game and execution at the moment is actually pretty good, then yeah, I would suggest you to give it a try. Game is not bad by any means, but if I had a choice between this or Subnautica, I would choose Subnautica any day of the week. Plus, at the moment of the recording, game does not have co-op, but it is coming. Game does not have an actual combat. It does have it, but it's not fully implemented yet, but it is coming, and the game is planned to launch in a full 1.0 really soon. So I guess I will have to check this game out once more in a few months time when it will fully launch and when its old bugs will be ironed out. Until then, if you want to watch my list of best single player games, you can watch it right here. Or if you want to watch the review of Subnautica, you can watch it right here as well. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe right here as well. This will be for today, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Take care.